Hey everyone, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android again, and today we're going to show you the LG Doubleplay, which is on T-Mobile for $99. It's basically entry-level phone with a little bit of a twist gimmick, or whatever you want to call it. We have the phone here, and basically in the box, I think is pretty much nothing extraordinary. You have your, if I can get that out, your manuals. So not much going on there. And you have your USB cable and plug. Alright, let's take a look at the phone. So this is heavy. This is a very heavy phone at 192 grams. The thickness is 16 millimeters, which if you compare that to the Samsung Stratosphere, which is a similar phone with a keyboard, QWERTY keyboard slide out, 14 millimeters. We'll get into the keyboard in a second. On the side here, this is where you plug in your USB. There's a little cover there. Fits nicely in there. You have your power, your headphone jack, volume. Let's open it up. See what we have under there. You have your 1500 milliamp battery, your SIM, and micro SD, and I believe that comes with 2 gigabytes. There's also 2 gigabytes of internal memory as well. The keyboard looks like this, which is a little funky with the 2-inch display. You have a 3.5-inch display. If I can get this off. A 3.5-inch display for your main display. It's 480 by 320, and your 2-inch display is 320 by 240. Let's power it up. The processor is 1 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon. There's 512 megabytes of RAM, and your camera, just a rear camera on this baby, it's 5 megapixels. It does record video at 720p, which is nice, which is actually better than the Samsung Stratosphere, which only does 480p. It's at the micro SD, and it's HSPA plus at 14.4 megabits per second. Alright, not a bad, I see I got a voicemail, which I have no idea where that could come from. I don't even know the number of this thing. The boot up time is pretty good. Now, for unlocking, we're sliding up with this LG. Basically, I believe you have 7 home screens, and it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't look like there's a lot of widget action pre-installed. Your bottom launcher does have 3 programmable to what you want, and your regular launcher. Also includes them on the bottom here as well when you look at the app drawer. And I notice here, just let's take a look at what they have. They're your normal T-Mobile stuff. Bejeweled 2 is on there. I believe Tetris is on here as well. We'll see that more at the bottom. Lookout Security is on here. Group texting is on here. This is basically supposed to be a really good texting kind of phone, which I'm not really sure where that comes from with this keyboard, but we'll talk about that in a second. Polaris Office is in here. SimCity Deluxe is on here. T-Mobile TV. There's your Tetris that I mentioned. Zinio Reader. So that's normally a lot on T-Mobile devices. So you got your normal buttons here for your menu, home, back, and search. Now let's take a look at the keyboard. The keyboard is split up into 2 sections with the smaller 2-inch display in the center, which is kind of weird to type, I can imagine here. I haven't done much of any. And the theory behind this is for multitasking. So if you're running something up here, and let's just try to run something here. Let's just go to the browser. You're doing something up here right now. I have no network connection for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. You can look at some text messaging here. Call up a text message while you're doing this. And let's see, I guess you could even, well, you can go back to the main screen of items here, or it looks like what you can do is just send it right back up. You want to go right to the big screen. Of course, I would imagine if you hold your home key down, just like any Android device, you can go to your the apps you've recently used as well, which is your normal way of doing things for multitasking. So basically, the theory behind this is that you can kind of quickly look at text messaging. Maybe if you're playing a game, you can maybe look at a tweet. You can also, looks like you can add things here, and from what I can see, they're limiting on what you can program in here, but of course I haven't spent much time with it. So right now I can add a social and a calendar. Now I wonder if I hold down on something and I hit X, okay, so that gets rid of it, so I can redo this one. But if I go here, it's put it right back in here. So it looks like they're limiting to you what you can put in there. I guess maybe you just can't put any app in there, but again, haven't spent much time with it, so I don't know yet. But as far as the keyboard goes, this is going to be kind of weird to type like this. Say the sky. I see I already made a mistake. The sky. Space keys are on both sides, and I already see if there's another sky is blue. Now, it's obviously not easy to type on this keyboard. Maybe it's something that over time you can learn and be proficient, but again, most phones aren't going to be this style, so do you really want to get used to that? I don't know. I think this really is a phone maybe geared towards the youth. It's got a little bit of a gimmick there with the second screen. I'm not really sure if it's that useful of a thing. I know it's many times there are apps and things that just give you that wow factor, but then in the end it's really not all that useful. This might be that kind of a thing. Like I said, this phone is supposed to be part of the World Texting Championships, where they're going to be using this for texting. I'm not really sure why that would be the case, because this to me is not really that good for texting. I mean, if you take a look at the Stratosphere keyboard with the 5-row keyboards, I just don't see how this can really compare to that. Now something just popped up there. I want to show that as well. Let's just take a look at what widgets are on here. This is a different, I guess is a LG UI. This is kind of neat for widgets, as you can kind of scroll through them right here, kind of like the app launcher in a sense with widgets, and you can go to shortcuts and look at different shortcuts here and folders, and then look at different wallpapers as well that are pre-installed. Go to your gallery, live wallpaper, and downloaded wallpapers. So that's nice as well. All in all, this is it's $99. The price is good. It's entry level, but it is a heavy phone, and it is thick. If you're, I guess, someone who really likes the gimmick with something like this, because it is kind of cool. Which, that's another thing, is it looks like you're going to be constantly hitting this thing too by mistake. There's a music player. I mean, as you open it up, your fingers touch it. I guess it's not a big deal right now. There's no music on the SD card, but if you're into things like that are kind of cool, this may be the phone for you. If if not, I mean, I think there might be other phones to look at, but let me spend a little bit more time with it, and we'll get into more of an in-depth review. For now, it looks cool. but we'll see. This is Rob Nazarian with Talk Android.